One. Ah, yes.
Haha, bitches.
This is the Nothing Sacred interview. I am Cruise Control.
I am Maxwell Silverhammer. And we got a special guest. If you guys saw Street Gangs, the interview, there were two interviews actually, with Curtis Kelley from Watts Mafia Crip. What's up, homie?
What's up, cuz?
Hey, man, it's your birthday today, dude.
What?
Sure is. Yep, sure is.
Oh, shit,
I turned
man.
a big 43 today, man.
Oh, shit, man. You're older than us. Good. You're older than me, at least.
I'll be 43 next month. Actually, you're a Virgo, aren't you?
I should. Well, I'm on a cusp. I'm like Leo Virgo, more Leo trace than Virgo.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I'm Virgo Libra,
yeah.
so. But, man, okay, so this is interesting. You obviously had that video on Street Gangs. You were on within a 20-month or 20-year span, right? On there.
Yeah. You mean the updated video or which one are you talking about?
Well, they were both. You did one in 98, and I think the second one you did in, 2018 or something like that? Or
April this year, yes, sir.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, 20 years. So they saw, like, a 20-year difference in, in you.
Right.
But what's funny? Okay, now here's what's interesting.
Well, hold on. Let's stop for just a second here, because for our audience who don't know, Street Gangs is a show or something, correct? Well, why don't you explain what Street Gangs is first, how they can watch that thing as well to get some background if they want some background on that.
Oh yeah, plug them. It's basically a YouTube channel, and they have a bunch of videos, interviews with different gang members and things, or ex-gang members.
Both current and former. Some affiliated, it's just it's a show about gangs basically.
But I mean, obviously they had information from 1998, so it was on in other areas like on TV before or something else. Where how was that, or just
how did it come about?
Yeah.
Is that you want to know?
I mean, where did they air those videos back then in '98? Because obviously they didn't have YouTube, so how were people able to watch?
You know what I think? I think what it was is he's just started filming them, documenting them, and he may have been attempting to come out with a documentary at that time. I think we had MySpace, AOL, and Yahoo, and those things as far as servers. But YouTube, he didn't upload it until like 2008.
Yeah. So that's crazy though. So they got you in 1998. They did interviews back then, and they did interviews in 2018. That's pretty crazy. So
right.
You know what's wild though, man? This is what I think is funny, okay? Because your dad is actually Curtis Kelley, or Curtis the Earthquake Kelley, who was a heavyweight boxer at one time.
Hey, I'm curious. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. And then he turned bishop, which was funny. Which is kind of lead into something else. But you were about to say you're curious to know what?
Well, let me clarify something. Actually, he was a bishop the whole time he was boxing.
Oh, okay.
So. Well, not actually a bishop. He's been ministering for all my life, actually. And what I want to know is I'm curious to how you know my dad. How did you?
It was an accident, and I just found out this afternoon because I was looking because I wanted to honestly refresh a little bit on your videos. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to watch your videos again. Because it had been a little while since I had seen him. Because I think it was like May when I reached out to you. So it's been a couple months. So I wanted to kind of sort of recap. So as I was searching for you, I saw this thing. It said, a bishop, heavyweight
Earthquake
boxer.
Kelley.
Yep,
Yeah.
Curtis Kelley, or Curtis Earthquake Kelley. And I was like, wait a minute. And then I'm checking it out. And I'm like, is this your dad? And you're like, yep, that's my dad. So, but what's interesting, okay, because you were actually a closet gangbanger, man. Like you did not want your family.
Something like that. Yeah, I didn't want my family to know. The thing was, I grew up here mostly with my dad, but I was also shipped out to Milwaukee to stay with my mom every now and then. I was easier to tame here by my father, of course, because that's a dude. He was a big guy, and not so much by my mom. So when I came out here, being that he was a boxer and he was, he had this reputation as a bishop, I didn't want to tarnish his name by becoming a part of the gang that was in the neighborhood I grew up in.
So you actually went and banged with another set that was nearby, like a few blocks away, right?
Right down the street, yep.
Wow. And that was because of fear of, obviously, your dad, because he'd probably get in your ass. You know, if
well, it's two things that played a part in that, and one is that I wanted to keep his image clear and not tarnish his name or anything like that, because I did have a lot of respect for my father too. I didn't want to bring any drama to my house with all that gang, because the hood that I grew up in, man, niggas ain't no joke. So yeah, it probably would have been some, or just gang members hanging out at my house or picking me up, dropping me off. I just didn't want that on my dad at all.
wow.
So what? Out of curiosity, I'm not. So what got you to decide to even go that route, to just say, you know what? What was the lure of the gang? Just friendship, or just the lifestyle or atmosphere? Why would you, instead of just like not going down that route, why'd you decide to just do that, kind of like a double life type of thing? Going, what was the excitement about that, or what drew you to that?
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to go back to when my daughter was conceived. I just instantly went on a mission to find a way to make a income, a steady flow of income for myself, for my baby. Because, growing up back then, a lot of guys were looked at as unfit fathers. They were just, neglectful to their kids. I didn't want to put that out there of myself. And I love, it's a lot of things that play into that as well too, because my dad, I grew up in, oh my goodness, I don't want to put all this out there.
No, you don't have to go and go.
Anything you don't want to talk about, you don't have to.
Yeah,
man.
exactly, man. I just want to know, like this. So you obviously were in that lifestyle. Was it just like you were there and you couldn't get out, or was it more like just like, I don't know?
No, what it was is, like I said, I had been back and forth between here and Milwaukee most of my life, all my life, and then so when I'm in Milwaukee, my daughter was conceived. I went to some friends of mine over there, asked them if they could put me on as far as selling drugs so I could make some quick cash for my daughter that was, about to be born. And I thought that I was going to be able to come out here and do the same thing, because I grew up with these guys from elementary school all the way through high school, and thought that would have been the same thing. Y'all put me on and I can just go about my business when I make my money. But the homie was like, nah, cuz, you going to make some money over here. You got to see from the hood, cuz. It took me 2 months, and I'm talking about I was running past that block every time I was going past. Oh my goodness! I'm talking about, I was like, oh, the homies there, because every time they say, hey, yo, hey, what's up, cuz? It's gonna be today or what? So eventually, at that time, I was doing some background acting and some music, because I played the xylophone, and I was in between jobs, and I needed a way to get some money for my daughter, because I did not want to have my daughter,
That's
struggling
crazy,
at all. And we were already living in my dad's house on pins and needles, thin ice, and all the other thin stuff that you can say that's gonna break. Eggshells, those two. So I didn't like that feeling. So I wanted to make some fast money to get my daughter and myself into my own place, and that's how it happened.
Crazy, man.
Man,
yeah.
Well, here's what's funny though, because I don't know have you ever watched your dad's video? The interview?
I'm gonna give it to you. Honestly, I don't watch my dad's videos at all. All.
He had some startling admissions in his too about some of the shit he used to get into.
I don't know if those are admissions versus stories, because I can't verify any of them. And family members that I know that are real close to me that know my dad very well they cannot verify those things. So like I said, I don't want to make my dad look bad, but I'm not the type of person to support falsehood. I don't do that.
Well, let's focus on the actual on the street gang stuff and what was going on with that, because Max, you've seen that. I actually hadn't checked that out, so we kind of got a little track there with what happens.
It was just interesting because it was like father like son type shit. You know what I mean? Like you didn't want him to know you were banging, but then he had some shit in his past he may not want you to know either. That now with the internet,
that's the way life is, man. That's the way everyone is. That's existence right there.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man. So what was crazy, that the one story you were telling of the street gangs where you actually wound up having a conflict where he wasn't your brother, he was a friend of yours, I guess, that got killed.
Yeah, he was my best friend, man. But we adopted him, not legally, but to our family, and I mean he just melded in like he was a part of us, And So he took me to go see a female friend of mine's. I kept saying I did not want to go. I did not want to go because I didn't feel right about just going over there. I had never been in that area of Watts before, and I just didn't want to go over there at night.
Oh shit.
And, yeah, that's what it was. And he was, my brother. He had the type of attitude where he wasn't so much arrogant, but he was a little bit narcissistic. Yeah, he was looking at, okay, so when he took me to go see the girl, he's all in her face more than I am.
Wait, is he a pussy pusher, dude? Is he the type of friend that when he gets around, come on, man, you gonna fuck? Because I have a friend like that. Like
no, he wasn't that type. No, he was this type right here because he was a little bit bigger than me. And like, see, when I was in high school, he would sneak up right behind me. I wouldn't know he's there. Everybody laughing. I'll turn around, he moved. And then I'm like, man, dude, who is playing? So when I swing and turn and hit him, he the type to try to embarrass me and try to like flip me, pick me up, like literally pick me up, throw me down. And, my brother had a weird way of like, yeah, man, it was crazy.
Make you tough or something.
I don't know. It was tough. And also because I had a little bit of fame, not fame, but, I had a little bit of clout at school. I was pretty popular there. And a lot of girls knew me, and every time he came around, it was a lot of girls. So he would try to show off in front of them. My brother would do stuff like random flips that nobody's watching. You just see him standing over there flipping. Wow! He do a standstill, no hand. Like, where did that come from?
Wow! So you guys, now he didn't bang, but you did, obviously.
No.
And you went to an enemy hood where this girl was living.
Right.
So, what happened?
Now, I didn't know. Like I said, I didn't know what part of Watts this was because I had never been over there. But down the street from where we went is the what is that over there? Nickerson Gardens. Yeah, it's the Nickerson Garden Projects. So I know the projects. What's in the projects? And it's, sometimes LA is so weird, man. A Crip gang could be right here and a blood gang right across the street from it, like directly across the street. So the project to me was different from the housing area that we went in. We went three blocks deep into the opposite direction, and it was residential. It wasn't projects. So I didn't know what hood we were in. The guys that were across the street, because there was guys already sitting out there, they didn't have no opposition colors on. It just seemed to be neutral, but I wasn't stupid.
Right.
I just didn't know where I was. And when he got, because she kept saying, get out the car. I'm like, no, I don't want to get out this car. I didn't feel comfortable. I don't know who these cats is. And why don't you come in the car? Because I might just want to peel off on you. I didn't want to stay there that long, to be honest with you. And my brother kept saying, man, get out the car, nigga. Man, what, you scared? He loud. He the type of person want to embarrass you on the spot type. What, you scared, nigga? Oh, no, nigga, I ain't scared, nigga. So I get out the car. I go to holler at Shorty, But I asked her off top, hey, man, what hood is this? She being from the Valley, she was from Moreno Valley. She barely came to see her grandparents. Didn't know what hood that was, right? So, okay, one of the other guys came from, it was 3 guys across the street. One of them came over there to where we were to talk to her friends. She had a female friend in the driveway with us. My brother, in the meantime, is posted up on the gate, leaning back, looking at these niggas like y'all wanted it what? You know what I'm saying? So I hear dude ask old girl, hey, man, where these niggas from? She's like, I don't know. He's like, oh, these niggas rips. I said, oh, shit, you sure you don't know what hood we in? She was like, nah. I said, damn. So when he walked away, I guess he went to go talk to his homies. They got in the car, pulled off. So I was like, come on, Scott. That was my brother's name. Come on, man. We get in the car, but he is nonchalantly moving like I'm not in a rush, my nigga. Like, come on, cuz, let's go. Car skirts around the corner. 5 niggas jump out. 1 is approaching us. The other 4 stay on the sidewalk. My brother, we got maybe about a foot away from the curb. He parks the car while the guy's walking up. And I'm like, what the hell? What's going on, man? Let's go. Oh, man. The only thing he said to me was, I want to see what this little nigga gonna do. What you mean, man? We can see that while we walking past this food. You know what I'm saying? So him being the driver, and like I said, he was a little bigger than me, a couple of years older. He had control. I tried to put my hands on the gear shit just to get the car to move, but he put his hand on it like, nah, nigga, don't touch it. So the dude walked up to the car, hey, homie, what hood y'all from? His window was up, so was mine, and my brother rolled the window down. Like, yeah, what hood y'all from? Oh, we don't bang. No, that nigga's a rip. He pointed past my brother at me. I said, damn, my nigga, you don't know me. What you talking about? Nah, nigga, he was a rip. He pulled a gun out, told me to get out the car. He was finna shoot me. I'm finna shoot your bitch ass, nigga. So I was like, damn, that's cold. So the whole time he's on the driver's side, but he made me get out the car, got out the car, and now he got my brother out the car. He ran my brother's pockets, took everything from him. Then he leans over to go into the glove compartment. While he's in the glove compartment, my brother would put hands on him. Boom, 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 boom. All right, gun goes off. Pow, pow. And I thought my brother grabbed the gun and did what he had to do, but obviously he didn't. And by the time I reached in, they both had their hands on the gun. I snatched dude out and popped him with it. Boom. My brother died, but he lived. The young man lived. And he was only 17.
And that was the guy you shot, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So to me, I have always felt since that day, all 4 of those bullets were intended for me.
He took them. He took them for you, huh?
Well, not all 4. Like I said, he got shot twice, and I shot the other guy twice.
Ah.
And I reached in and took the gun. Now, I don't feel proud about doing any of this. It was just in the moment. Because you never know what you're going to do in certain instances. You never know until it happens. Mm-hmm. So I was even surprised at myself after the situation and how I reacted to it. Because, of course, I wasn't prepared for it, but I jumped in like I was just ready to go, too. But, yeah, so I reached in to help my brother because, I shot dude. I left him where he was. I reached in to help my brother. He was just laid out on the ground, just looking up at the sky, gagging. And his other homies, I guess, finally caught on to them that I had the gun. And they was like, oh, get that nigga blood. So I aimed pistol at them, but it jammed. Turn around, I broke. Shit, after that was, the murder scene. So.
Well, what was interesting, you said you weren't charged for it because it was self-defense.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man. But
it
was interesting, though. He had to give his boys up when he went to the hospital, though, from what you said, because obviously the doctors, the police. What's that?
No, I don't think he had to give up on nobody. He got to give up himself.
Yeah, to give himself up because the police wouldn't let the medical team do any work until he gave the information up, from what you said.
Right, because he initially started, giving them a false statement. About what happened. It was a drive-by. No, that was a direct blow. Somebody tried to kill you, and you had to give yourself up in order to get the, the medical attention that he needed.
That's fucked up.
So wow, yeah, it's so that was obviously the catalyst for, or was that the catalyst for anything different in your life? Like after that moment, did you try to move away from that, or did you get more involved in it? What happened after that? How did that affect you in terms of your life and the way in your gang relationship?
Okay, so when that year happened, of course it was late 98, December 7th of 98, wasn't much of the year left. But 99, most of 99, I do not remember it at all. I can't even give you a specific date in 99 that I did anything. Because I got Sherm, I started smoking Sherm, and just really just start banging, like just I'm on the block now. Like I didn't care if my family knew no more or nothing. Like, man, they took my brother, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't care no more. I didn't care. I stopped caring about anything. And especially the stuff that I was going through a lot of stuff in my home with my dad. So yeah, it was a lot, man.
I'm surprised they didn't know you were banging because you're wearing the colors, and I'm sure the way you were talking was different.
Well, I guess I'm a good actor, I guess, from that aspect.
I guess so. Because you said it wasn't until years later that somebody found out from that video.
Exactly. That was my stepmom. She the one who told me. She said, "Boy," she said, "I didn't know you was from Watts Mafia Crip." I said, "What? Stop lying."
Oh, so you even try to play it off then? Like, no, that's it's all lies, Mom.
I didn't say that. I didn't tell her that. But I was like, for real, you know, I was really not. I was trying to deny it without answering the question. You know what I'm saying? She said, "Yeah, I just saw a video on YouTube of an interview back in '98. You from Watts Mafia Crip?" I said, "What? I don't even know what you're talking about." So I had to admit that I was, you know, that I was banging because I wasn't gonna lie to her. But I hadn't seen the video myself yet. I didn't see that video until 2011.
Oh shit!
Damn.
Yep. Wow. And by the time I saw it, it was at 400,000 views.
Jeez. What was that like seeing that? Are you still involved in that or is that something that you were still involved in 2011 when you saw that? Because that must have been how long were you involved with that? Or are you still doing the same thing?
You talking about banging?
Yeah.
The hood? Man, once you from the hood, you from the hood forever. You're gonna die out or get quartered off. And if you get quartered off, which is the reverse of initiation, you might as well just die because they gonna treat you like an enemy. You know what I'm saying?
So what was it like seeing yourself in 2011, like back in 1998? Was that was like, damn? Were you like, see how much you've changed and are different? Cause I guess that's the whole idea. They did the interview again this year. You said, right? So you actually have a 20-year gap between that. There's a new 20-year
gap. Yes, sir.
Damn, man.
Yeah. So when I saw myself, I listened to my interview and I was like, "What the hell am I talking about?" Oh snap! But a lot of stuff that I said makes sense. But then when I a few years down the road, I think it was in 2010. When the beef between my hood and the hood I grew up in started. So by the time I saw the video, I was saying to myself, man, I'm saying shit out here that, man, is basically making me look stupid because currently these two hoods don't get along. And Hat Gang is one of the first hoods that I named that I said we get along with in the old video.
Oh, wow.
So
shit changes, man. Shit changes.
We're just marveling at that.
Alliances change and shift, and people are and enemies and friends and changes all the time. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, man. It's the thing is, in our neighborhoods, you know, and I'm just gonna put it out there, we don't have a lot of opportunities, you know, and a lot of times it's a brotherhood that people don't understand as well. Yeah, there's a lot of violence. We party a lot, we drink, we smoke, sell drugs, whatever. You know, it's just the street life instills a camaraderie that is understood only by those that are together, you know. And it's a brotherhood, man. Now, if you really get into it, to me, it's more tribal than anything because when I look at it, I look back at our ancestors and I see us as being those tribes, those current tribes. It's just a different name now. They call them gangs, you know. But to me, it's a tribal connection that we are not in tune with, but need to understand.
Yeah. Well, and that's
as far as now, I am affiliated. I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not active as far as in the streets banging, but
Yeah, did we drop him? Oh shit.
No, he's here. I think he's still there. His phone just got cut off a little bit.
Let's see.
We'll pause for a second here.
Let's pause for the cause. Oh man. So yeah, we got Curtis Kelley back in the building. You know, we lost him for a minute, but he's back. So, man, what were you saying though? So you're no longer active in the streets as of today, correct?
Well, I guess as of when I decided, that was some years ago when I decided, you know, it's not for me to be out here banging because I moved down to Georgia and one day I decided to go full-fledged blue up and down, you know what I mean? Because I saw these cats out there wearing all this red. So I'm like, man, these niggas must think it's sweet around here. So I put my blue on, grab my rag and all that type of stuff. So I'm walking up to Walmart with my daughter, and I realized that the reason why they wear so much red, and I'm in Atlanta, is that because their team color is mostly red. They got the Atlanta Falcons. They got the what's their basketball team? The Hawks. So their team's colors is red, so most of the people wear a lot of red down there. And another thing that also came to mind is that I was putting my daughter on, like I was putting her in danger in a place that neither one of us knew anybody at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it dawned on me that, I'm trying to come down there as a professional hairstylist, yet and still I'm trying to portray this gangbanging image. Is not going to work. It doesn't mix. And then I'm putting my daughter in danger, and she has nothing to do with any of this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it brought me back to the time when my brother got killed, and it just I flipped the script that when it was like an epiphany. Once it came to mind, I changed right then.
Mm-hmm.
Because my daughter was more important than my image as this gang member. If somebody wanted to know, then I'd tell them. Other than that, they ain't got to know all that. You know what I mean? It's not their business. I got to raise a child right here that sees me in a whole different light. She don't see Crip. She see daddy.
Right.
So
you must have had to deprogram yourself a little bit too, man, as far as not being able to react to people wearing red, or like even the way you talk. Because I know a lot of times Crips, we see kicking it, cuz, to be able to,
yeah,
right, to not say cack instead of back, and shit like that.
Right. Well, the thing is, I was raised with an intelligent vernacular, if that's if I can use that word.
Mm-hmm.
But my dad always taught me to learn and expand my vocabulary. So it was just always in me anyway. I never even spoke like that. It didn't make sense.
Oh, so you never did it when you're banging then, even?
Nah, that wasn't me, man. I ain't, I bang, but still, I still want people to know what I'm talking about, because everybody don't need to get banged on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
It's a time and place for everything, even then.
Yeah, and plus I'm sure at some point you're like, you know what, sometimes I don't necessarily need to just throw it out there, so, it's another way just kind of to keep yourself a little bit incognito a little bit if you need to, probably,
Right. So, look, check this out. Then on top of that, to be honest with you, let me go to the other side. You guys heard that I live somewhat of a double life like Clark Kent and Superman. But the thing is, excuse me, the way I was raised, I was raised in church, and my dad, I played the xylophone growing up. I was at 4 years old playing the xylophone. I used to play concerts and signing autographs. I've done some TV extra work, some plays and stuff like that. So that was separate from my hood life. You know what I mean? I was able to go from one part of the city to the next part of the city because people knew me growing up as another different type of person.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, again, I didn't start banging until I was 22. A lot of my homeboys, they grew up in the hood. I was tagging, dancing, break dancing. I was on the cheerleading squad in the high school. Oh, don't tell everybody I said that.
You just told on yourself there, man.
Hey, but I'm just keeping it real, So I did a lot of stuff that was out of the norm, for what is so-called known as a gang member.
Mm-hmm.
I just basically I was a freelance individual, man. I just did what I wanted to do.
Whatever you felt.
I got a question for you about just over the. Obviously, I'm sure you keep in touch with people. Like you said, like you're out of the active stuff, but you still interact with people in that culture and in that with that mindset. How has that changed over the last 20 years with the growth of the internet and just technology and smartphones and shit? Has anything changed? Has it evolved or changed in ways, like the unexpected ways, because of all the crazy shit going on, and just the way people can interact? Like, is there like Facebook and Twitter shit that's used now, and or do you even have any idea about that?
Gang banging on Twitter?
Hey,
sure.
dude, this is this different world, man.
Just like I mean, people create their own lives. Like 6ix9ine, Tekashi 6ix9ine is, right?
Yeah, the rapper out of New York.
Man, come on now, they invent themselves, So it's a lot of girls on Instagram. They Instagram models. It's a lot of Instagram thugs too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I used to get into it with this one cat called himself Rusty from neighborhood. He said he was from neighborhood 60. I was like, okay, cuz, so see where your homeboys at? You know what I'm saying? What's the homies doing? He got, oh, from LA, I'm from New Jersey. I said, what? Ain't even no 60s neighborhood in New Jersey. What the fuck is you talking about? Then he wasn't even from, like, he wasn't from Brick City or no shit like it was a hood and then where a white boy can claim some shit like that. This fool was straight up from the country and was banging on me hard, like, man, you know, I'll cut you down and I'll cut your throat. Like, I said, man, these you got the whole game fucked up. So, there's a lot of internet stuff going on. Lil Wayne started a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've heard, yeah.
All right. He flew from Crip to Blood. Did you notice that?
You know what? I didn't even know he was claiming Crip.
Man, if you look at any little Wayne's old stuff from like 300 Degrees when he was younger and all that type, he wasn't wearing nothing but blue. Him and Bird.
In the beginning?
Yeah, in the beginning, they was all about number. Yeah, they was on Crip, kid. And she, you know, and all of a sudden they Bloods. What? Man, they was blued up and down. You better stop playing with me, man. It was about Snoop Dogg back then. Now it's about Lil Wayne, Blood. Thinking bad dude, Blood. My bad.
I guess after Mac 10, man, Mac 10 came on board. That changed things around for him.
Well, you know what, Mac 10, he never was no fake dude, though.
No.
Mac 10 is always and has always gonna be real. You feel me?
Right.
I mean, you know, them niggas is phony. They fake. That's, to me, that's like a costume. Every time you wake up in the morning, you got to be Lil Wayne. But he really, what is his name? Mm-hmm. Jimmy Carter or something?
Yeah, something Carter. Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter.
No, I'm not trying to talk about the boy like that, but I don't even know, dude. But the point is, what I see as far as being some called, you know, fan on the outside looking in, it's like, you know, I'm not sick. And I consider myself a real individual. I follow real people. When Lil Wayne came out, I was like, oh, man, he's still cold with the lyrics, but the way, you know, he flipped like that, I just can't ride with somebody like that.
Well, and that's it, too, man. You got all these, like, Hollywood musicians now are claiming sets and claiming crazy shit. And it's just like, man, dude, you know, people get killed behind that shit, man.
Exactly.
You know,
in real life.
So, actually, I do have a question though. So you were with Watts Mafia Crip. What is Watts Franklin Crip? Is that a different set, or what's the deal with that?
Yeah, Franklin Watts. That's Watts Franklin Crip. Yeah. It is Watts Franklin Crip because it's Franklin Square.
Okay, so it's a separate neighborhood.
Yeah, it's a separate neighborhood.
Okay. So man, now you're obviously cutting hair. You know, do you own a barbershop or what's your?
No, actually, I'm not a barber. I'm a hairstylist.
Oh, oh shit.
Yeah, I do women's hair.
Oh, okay. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
don't tell Max that.
No, I don't own a shop, but I'm looking to get some investors. I'm looking for some spaces right now. I'm get into all the paperwork and stuff, the details of what I need and where I'm going to be located and what I'm going to specialize in. Because I made a mistake when I went to Atlanta and learned everything, then try to put myself out there like I know everything.
Oh, we all do that, man.
Oh my goodness, man! I put my foot in my mouth and all types of other shit. Man, don't go to where it's supposed to go.
That's how shit works, man. In all aspects of life, you just got to learn by putting your foot in your mouth.
Right. So I started out braiding because I was a single father, and I learned learn to do hair by braiding my daughter's hair. So I guess that is my niche, so to speak, and I'm gonna stick with that because I perfected it. I do sew-ins, I do color. I cut, I do fingernails, makeup, eyelashes, eyebrows, all that type of stuff.
Oh, damn,
man.
My specialty is braids, so I'm going to perfect that and incorporate everything else by learning other classes.
Wow.
Take classes, so it'll get better.
Well, I got a question where, if you just like to kind of a wrap up, or I guess a question about your perspective on your whole experience over the last 20 years. What would you take away from that and give to people who may have been like you are now at that your age 20 years ago in the same position, What would you tell them, man? What would you say? How would you tell them to I mean, in terms of of how you walked, what would you say? What would your life lessons tell people at this point?
Okay, well, first of all, I want to say be yourself. Love yourself. All right, enough to know that you're not going to have that same support from people that you are loyal to or committed to all the time. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm speaking of joining the gang at really at an old age.
Yeah.
You know? And the whole point of doing that was to create some type of stability for my child. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So it's not a matter. Okay, if that's what you want to do, if you want to be a good father, it doesn't mean that you have to go through desperate means to get it done. Not all the time. You have to be a little bit more patient with yourself and know that time heals all things, and not only time heals things. Time teaches you things, teaches you patience, and you also have to learn through experience. You know, you might mess up, you might make the wrong decisions. Don't get mad at yourself. Regroup, take a breather, and know that there is always another way. There's always another way. The world doesn't end with one mess up or fuck up in your life. It does not end there. Keep on going. Keep on going. That's why I lived another 20 years. 20 years, and I'm going to live another 20 years. And I still look like I'm 20 years young. You hear me?
Man.
No stress. You got to not stress and live life peacefully, humbly. Like if you made a lot of mistakes in your life, okay, get over that shit. I'm still getting over things. Like I carried to LA a bunch of emotions that I didn't even know was bottled up in me. Now I'm crying them out. I'm swinging them out. I'm, fucking them out. All that shit.
All that stuff, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, you got to be able to learn yourself enough to love yourself enough to keep learning to build. You understand? It keeps going in a circle, but you got to give yourself a chance to learn. If you're young right now, don't think that you have to know everything right now, because you don't, and you're not going to. I love you, and I just want to sign off with that. If that's what we're leaving with, I want to give peace, love, and happiness to everyone, because that's what I'm about.
That was a beautiful ending, man. Curtis, on that note.
On that note, man. Thank you, thank you for the interview, man. This is Curtis Kelley. And we're out here, man. We'll see you all later on. I am Cruise Control.
And I'm Maxwell Silverhammer.
And that's the story there, bitches!
Boobies on deck.
God damn. Another sacred interview, Curtis Kelley.
Yeah.
All right. Deuces, y'all.